Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for another Monday reads, and it's also the beginning of the reading rush, so my TBR for next week is heavily inspired by that. But let's first go over my stats for last week and let you know about what I read and what my plans were, and did I meet my goals and stuff. My plans for last week was to read. I had plans on finishing 5 things last week, which I didn't, but I did end up finishing 3 things. This has not have been my best reading week at all last week. I ended up reading a total of 1,044 pages with an average of 145 pages per day. And the majority of that reading I did yesterday when I was participating in 24 and 48. So that was a little sad, but I'm gonna talk about the books that I did finish now. The first thing that I finished was finally I finished Hands of Oberyn by Roger Zelazny. This is book 4 in AmberChronicles. This specific book was not my favorite at all. I thought it was really drawn out and not a lot of interesting things happened. It was like a bit repetitive over the book, but there were some elements that I enjoyed, and I did think that we got new information about the world that was interesting. But what was annoying was that the first really exciting thing that happened in the last chapter, and there was just a little bit annoying waiting around 160 pages or something like that before anything super exciting happened. I hope that the next one, Court of Chaos, is going to be a lot better, but who knows. At this point I gave this one 2.5 stars because it did have some good things, but overall I was pretty disappointed with this book. But I am interested in seeing the next one, which is supposedly the last one from Corwin's perspective, so I'm interested in seeing what will happen when we shift character perspective in book 6. But so far this is my least favorite of the series. The next book that I finished was Wanted and Wired by Vivian Jackson. This was the audio that I set myself for the week, and I hated the narrator of the audio. I really did not like this audio at all, and I pushed myself through it only because of me being able to get points in this summer romance book bingo. But then I found out that none of the others really enjoyed it, so Sarah changed the rules to that you can just read any paranormal romance and get the points, and I was just like, yeah, well, now I'm like 85% into it, so I can just as well finish it. And so I did that, and I ended up giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I thought it was so... I just think that there were so many things that this one didn't deliver on. I thought the characters were... They were just thinking about sex all the freaking time, and it was so annoying. I just find it a little bit unbelievable that you have that on your mind all the time, no matter if you are attracted to someone. I think you're capable of thinking of other things. Like, at least in the beginning, that was what was going on. It did get a little bit better towards the end, but then it's still, in the middle of a battle scene and stuff, you just start thinking about having sex with this other person, and it was like, no. It just, no. It was a science fiction based paranormal romance, which was interesting, and I would like to see more of that, but I just don't think it was delivered and handled very well. I think the author could have done a lot better on that. So I ended up giving this one 2 out of 5 stars as well. Actually lower than the other one, because that was a 2.5. This was a solid 2 stars. So this was a bit of a rough week for me, and that's also one of the reasons I didn't read very much. It just didn't capture my attention too much. But then luckily my week ended up on a good note. I ended up reading Amara by L.L. McNeil. This turned out to be longer than I initially expected. The previous 2 books have been like 400 pages, but I just discovered the other day that the page count tally has been added to the book on Goodreads now, and it's 570 pages instead of 400 that I initially thought. So it was a little bit longer than I expected, so it took a little longer for me to read it, but I did end up reading almost all of it over this weekend, except for I think 16% or something that I've read the first few days. But I did really enjoy this one. I thought that all of the characters developed really nicely. I thought that I really enjoyed the dragons in this universe. You could definitely tell that Lauren, the author, is a big fan of dragons. And what I like is that, I mean, true to high fantasy, you have a lot of different characters you switch perspective with. In the first book, they were all gathered in the same group and they were working on the same goal. And in the second and third book, they've been spread out into the land having different aims and goals. But yeah, they still, some of them still sort of come together to help each other out for things. And I thought it was a really good book overall. It focused a lot on Amara, who is my favorite character, so I also was expecting to really enjoy this one, but it also did put a lot of focus on some of the other characters. So just because it's called Amara and supposedly about her, it's not only about her, it's about a lot of other things, but she did have a really big part of this, and I enjoyed it so much. It's definitely my favorite of the series so far, and I gave it 4.5 stars. So if you haven't already checked out the first book, Moroder, I highly suggest you do. If you like reading fantasy from those sort of mismatched groups where they are sort of accidentally being put together in order to work for the same cause, but they're coming from different backgrounds, different cultures and stuff, and have different personalities, then I think this will be a really great book to check out, because it has that, obviously, and it has shape changers and sky pirates and all of these other cool things, and the magic system is really interesting. I also have an old review of the first book that I did back in the day, so you can check that out if you feel like it. But those are the things that I finished over the past week. Then I also started on Cruel Prince by Holly Black, where I listened to the first an hour and a half of the audio, which is like 45 minutes or something yesterday. And that is all I read yesterday or this past week. I didn't touch Christine at all, and I didn't touch my manga either. Seriously, not a good reading week for me last week. I was just not in a reading mood at all whatsoever. So hopefully this week will be better. But I already feel like it is. So let's get into my weekly reading plans for this week. It's definitely inspired by my Reading Rush TBR. So if you haven't watched that already, or if you want to, then go and watch it, and then you can come back. But it will basically be a lot of the same things. First and foremost, I have my physical books. I have 3 physical books that I want to get to, and 2 audios on my TBR. First physical book that I would like to try and read through and finish is Cause of Chaos by Roger Zelazny. This is book 5 of the AmberChronicles, and I would like to get that out of the way and get started on it already today. There's going to be a sprint session tonight, my time zone, for an hour. I'm going to try and get started with this one. I've been joining in on the sprints as much as I could this morning, so that has helped me get through some pages already. Shape Changes by Jennifer Robertson, the first book in this omnibus of 2 books that I'm planning on reading over the week, and I haven't started on it yet, but this is the amount that I need to read this part up here, so it's not that much. It's 276 pages, and I should definitely be able to do that. I thought I wanted to start out easy and start out with How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell. This is the first book in the How to Train Your Dragon series. And it follows Hiccup, who is a young boy who is just about to try and capture his own dragon and training it. And his dad is a big thing in this world. And so he finds Toothless, a little dragon, and he's trying to make it work with him. And it's not a very easy task. But I'm almost halfway through it already. I've read 114 pages, so it definitely does go really fast. And I've only been reading for like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that over those 2 reading sprints that I did participate in. So yeah, definitely having fun with this one so far, and I think I might already finish it tomorrow. So that is my physical reading for the day. The final and the 2 audiobooks that I'm going to be working on, the first one is Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. I've already started on it. It is only 3 hours and 17 minutes, I think. So it's like an hour and 45 or something, or 40 minutes in my speed, and I've listened to 15 minutes, so I have some catching up to do already, but I haven't done very much at home yet, so I'm planning on getting that done soon, so I will definitely listen to it then. And I also have another audio which is called Paradise Valley by Robin Carr. This is for the purple on the cover prompt, and this is about 12.5 hours long, so it will be 6 hours and 15 minutes in my speed. So I've calculated myself down to having to listen to about an hour and 10 minutes or something per day to finish both books in time. So that is definitely not very much, because I've been used to listen to 2 hours a day, but that was when I was working, when I could listen to during the day. But I also do have time to go around and listen to stuff here. Today is a really rainy day, so I'm planning on trying to get as much read at home today, because the rest of the week is going to be really, really nice. We're going to have like real summer weather from already starting tomorrow and on all the way into the weekend. So I don't know how much I'm going to stay at home, because I like to go out and enjoy the summer when it's here, because we haven't had very many summer days this year, not compared to last year, definitely. So I do try to enjoy them as much as I can. So we'll see. But I am looking forward to a great reading week, hopefully. If I have time, extra time, if I finish all of these things, I have my audio that I'm going to go back to is Cruel Prince by Holly Black, because this expires from the library at some point. Then if I have time to read anything, I will be reading from Christine by Stephen King, or get to Full Metal Alchemist volume 11, because I would also like to get through this one. I'm really getting low on my library books, so I'm hoping that I will get through all of them fairly soon, so I don't have to think about them, and I can go back to the library and look at new books to check out, because I have my two mangas, like Full Metal Alchemist volume 11 and 12. I have a Shakespeare play, and then I have a Kenneth Anderson book, the next one in that series. And I have Christine. Those are the things that I have left on my library haul, and I think that's pretty decent. So yeah, definitely planning on going to the library soon, and we'll see if I don't go over this week, because I'm starting on work next week, so it would be nice to go over the week where I have the days off and stuff, and have time to go down to the library when it's a bit relatively quiet. Although I hate going there when it's really, really hot outside, because they have like skylights in there, so it gets boiling hot in the library because of that. So I don't know, I should have probably gone today, because the weather is terrible and it would be a good day. But I did have some other plans with my sisters, so I didn't go, but we'll see. This is my update for today. Definitely let me know in the comments down below about how you did last week. What were your favorite things to read you read over the past week? Did you read any things that I have been reading? And what were your thoughts on them? Did you agree when you read them? And what are your plans for this week? I'm planning on joining in on the reading rush, as well as a lot of others are. Definitely let me know about that. And if you're not, what other plans are you going to be doing? I really am really tired today. I can feel that I was up late yesterday reading. My head is so tired. Yeah. This is if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye!